Howdy guys, it's Thursday the 5th of May. It's a fresh start, just come off night shift. So I'm just having coffees and getting myself buzzing. So I'm going to get out of the shed today. I've just noticed it's raining, so I'm not going to be doing any painting, that's for sure. But I'll take the opportunity now to do a bit of research. So as I was telling the last video, the Ford Escort, the drive-by-wire throttle body in it's off a Mark III Focus. It's only 57mm, so it's too small. So I got onto this Airfire Hardware in Victoria, so they got heaps of goodies. So I bought this 68mm throttle body. It's probably something you'd see on like a V6 car. So yeah, that's going to go straight. It bolts up the same to the manifold. Just this here's a little bit bigger, so that's all right. I'm going to adapt a pipe for that. That's that issue resolved. Put that on the car, all sweet. See, I've noticed when I start the Escort the other day, it's absolute nightmare to start when it's cold. And then up here, it's got in-air temp, so the air temperature sensor on the manifold was 130 degrees, so that's not good. That's basically the computer thinks the engine's hot, but it's not. So it's giving the engine less fuel. And you usually require a little bit more fuel on a cold start, so that's why it's having problems starting. So I got on a Hubcaps in Sydney. I bought a new air temp sensor, and so I rig up the throttle body, change the air temp sensor, swap the pumps over, and this car should be pretty much it then. It still runs great, so I won't have to worry about tuning for a while. I'm not going to commit to anything with that car. The idea is I want to get that car going to a point where I can just drive it around, and then they got the All 4 day at Sydney Dragway. They have like the main car park is like all cars on display, so I'm committed to that now. I'm not going to do any racing events, nothing. So that's the goal. But this video isn't about the Escort, this is back to the coupe. So what I'm doing now, what I potentially want to do with the V8 Cleveland in the coupe is to have it set up a Hubcaps ECU. So I'm going to go full technology with that engine. I'm not going to go carburetor. I want it to be a car that I can get in and drive it and enjoy it, and I have to worry about starting issues, little things going wrong, as in, you know, a distributor stops working or it's running too rich, low RPM or something like that. So what I'm doing, I'm going to look at the Hubcaps Elite 2500. So that's like, you use it like an FG Falcons, turbos, and turbo V8s and stuff. So it's a pretty good ECU in that area. So what I'm doing now, I want to set the engine up to a drive-by-wire. So instead of having a conventional carburetor with a cable or a throttle body, it runs a cable from the accelerator pedal. You just have it so it's just wiring. So I can run like a FG or a BA Falcon throttle pedal, and then I could just run like a throttle body off a LS3 or a Ford Barra, FG Falcon, whatever I want to do. So what I'm doing now, I'm just getting on this. The issue I've got, it's hard trying to find. I haven't been able to find yet, not that I've been trying very hard, a 4-barrel style throttle body that's drive-by-wire. So then I'll just look down here. I noticed this is on Airfire Hardware in Victoria. So look down here, you got this one here, which looks pretty good. So what they've done here, they've got an adapter plate. So you get that adapter plate, then you can adapt a throttle body to that, and then I could be able to hide like a big air filter over that if I like, if I want to keep the engine looking factory. So that's an option for me, but I think this adapter plate, it's designed to run the Holden LS3 throttle body. I was hoping to run like a Bosch. It doesn't matter, end of the day, it does the same thing. So then I could set up drive-by-wire, have probably LS1 or LS2 coil, so it's coil per cylinder. Then I could run all the sensors, so I'll probably be able to get onto Hubcaps. Hubcaps have got all these, you got those Dropbox where you can load up a different tune. So if I go probably an LS3 tune, I can run all the sensors that like an LS3 would have. So that way it'd be simple for me. They'd have maps for me, so I'll be able to start the engine up and run it. So yeah, I'm no way near ready to do any of this stuff, but I can plan for it, get an idea about what I want to do. And it's not overly expensive doing this. It's reasonably cheap. Once you set it up, probably cost me maybe probably four and a half grand to set up the engine to be full EFI, everything, which I think is not too bad. So I've currently got a Ford Torino Cleveland block in the shed. It's all machined up, good to go, just needs a good clean up. I've got the heads in the shed. Yeah, I've got 2V heads in the shed. They're all machined up, good to go. They've been ported. They've had a lot of work done to them, so I've got them ready. It's just a matter of getting the intake manifold, cam, lifters, all that stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm going to plan for. But yeah, just a 351 AFI, I reckon it's going to be great. So I'll wrap it up for this research stuff now. I'll have to go back to the shed and start getting onto the bodywork, doing the sanding, the body lines. Back out the shed now. Yesterday was recovery from night shift. Today's like 1 day off, and then I'm back on for 3 day shift. So yesterday I got this new radiator for the BF and installed that. So now all I have to do is put the airbox and all the plumbing back on. The cooling system doesn't leak cold. I couldn't get the motor running properly. I'm not gonna worry about it. So I'm just gonna finish putting it back together. I'll float the gas mechanic and then put rego on it. All going well. Probably should check the front suspension too and see any ball joints, but I'll see what he picks up on it. If I find things wrong with it, I'll fix it. But yesterday I was trying to chase up some hubcaps. I've only got these suckers. I only got 2 of them. So they go on your 16-inch wheel. So yeah, I was after another 2 of them. I'll pretty them, make them all, give them a coat of paint, make them nice, and put them on the car, get it looking a bit more presentable. And yesterday morning, I went straight to the tyre shop and I ordered some new tyres for these. So yeah, she's looking sweet again now. I like cheap shit, but don't care. Whatever. Does the job. Gets me to and from work, running around and stuff. So yeah, all good. I wanted to take the Escort for a squirt today, but yeah, that air sensor in that manifold, it's yeah, what I was telling you before, it's no good, so I can't run the engine. So what I'm gonna do now is coupe. So I'll show you where I left off. Last time I put a video up, I was doing the bonnet. So I've done that, gave it a coat, polyester primer, and yeah, that's how it is. Haven't done anything to that. But what I've done then, I started blocking the guard back. So I used, I started off with 220, then I went to 400. And while I was at it, I thought I might as well start fitting on these end pieces. So I, yeah, they wouldn't marry up too well to the panel. So I had to do a little bit of modifying the inside to get the sit right. But the little screws I had to hold this onto the guard, I couldn't find them. So I ended up just, I probably should have filmed it, but I ended up drilling them and tapping it to an M6 thread, and then I just M6 metric bolts hold it on. So it's sweet, nice, and fits beautiful. So that part of it's done. I had to modify this a fair bit to get it to sort of blend in. But where I'm at now, so I gave that a coat of poly, and then I've been starting to do this body line. So the problem I had when I first started doing this car is, yeah, just look at the body lines, and the Escort was easy. It's just all sort of, the panels are sort of more square, and the body lines are really out there. You can't really mess them up because it's overall really good, strong part of the panel, the shape. But with this car, because it had side swipe damage and dings and stuff, to get a perfect straight body line, I had to change some technique. So what I've done, I'll show you how I do it, but I put tape. I get one of the splines and I mark a straight line from the back of the car to the front. So you get a permanent marker line front to back, and then I put tape on one side, and then I start blocking towards that line. And then you swap positions, so you put the tape from this side, put it that side, then you block down towards it. So that way you get a perfectly good body line. So I've started to knock the top off this one. I'll show you what I've been doing, but to start, this side here hasn't been done. It's just got a really strong body line right up the side. So it's perfectly even body line that goes in the shape of the panel. So that way you got a nice consistent line right across the side of the car. So what I've been doing, it's got to the point now where I have to start knocking the top off this body line. So these cars, from what I've seen, their body line isn't really sharp and pointy like that, it's more rounded. So what I've been doing, to knock the top off it slowly, don't rush it, because I can really screw this up and create myself so much work. So what I've been doing, I'll just explain it to you here. It more or less had a pointy edge on it like that. So what I'm generally doing now, I'm slowly knocking the top off it like this in stages, and eventually I'll get it to beam back like that again. So the rear quarters, it's pretty much, I don't really have to do much of that because I didn't have to build up. This panel was pretty damn good, but those door and the guard had a bit of shit going down. But so yeah, this, I think about from this point is perfect. When it starts getting up around here, the body line starts getting a bit pointy. So what I need to do is knock the top off it slowly, and you can see it really stands out here. It's got way too much on it. But yeah, looking at that Weber station before, there's no way I'm gonna be doing any spray paint today. So what I'll do, I'll just concentrate on sanding and then go from there. Just looking at this Weber station, so you've got indoor humidity 60%, that's okay, 23 degrees, but then you've got outside 16 degrees, 96%. So yeah, that's no good for spray painting. So I've got the car set up in a good angle, so I've got a good view of the body line. I've got plenty of lighting come on the panels. It's the best I can get, because when the car's a bit lower, it's really difficult. You have to sort of squat down and see what you're doing. So yeah, look at that, and then I'm looking at my options. So I've got, obviously got the Durabrock flat, got that. That's really good for some more of the flat areas. And then I've got Mellomotive 2 spline. So I think this one's gonna be good. So I've got 400 grit, 180 and then 120. So starting to get a bit lower on the 120, but I reckon 180 should be a good starting point. It's not really that aggressive, and got plenty of it left. But I don't really need to use much of this stuff now. I'll get to the point where I'm going through the stages of sandpapers and most of the hard work's done, which is really good. The bonnet still needs a bit of work. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start knocking the top off this. I really don't like doing this. It's nerve-wracking. So what I'll do, I'll do it in stages, slowly do it and see how I go. But so I like about these splines, you can get a bit of flex in them, so I can sort of work with it, can shape to the panel. This freehand paper is really good too. It doesn't block up like other papers do. Oh, it's bad anyway. So now I can just give that a wipe over. Yeah, starting to knock top of it. Takes a bit of time. I won't film the whole lot, but you just get a gist of what I'm doing. So I've taken a heap off. I'd really love to give this a coat, a primer, just so I get a good indication of where I'm going with it, but humidity's like 95%, but the rain has stopped, it's cleared up. But yeah, it's wet everywhere. So what I can do, got this profile gauge, I've got this here marked, sort of indication where the body line is, the middle. So I'm just putting that on here like that. Moving along. Down a bit there. Never gonna get this perfect. Every shape's different to the next. but it gives me an indication of how flat the body line is now, so expect it around here. It's going to be pretty high there, I reckon. You can see the edges coming up a bit. But yeah, sort of worked in my favour. You got the orange primer underneath, then you got the grey on top, and you sort of keep it the same the whole way along. But it's really difficult to tell. So what I'm going to do now, I've got this wax and grease remover. Works really good. You're going to clean this crap off really good. Put this stuff on the panel, you wipe it off, you think, oh yeah, all the wax and grease is off now. The polyester primer will love it. No, it doesn't. You get like fish eyes everywhere. So I use a bit of Mefo before I put the poly primer on. Got one of these spray bottles, one of those pump-up ones, some super cheap. Didn't last long. The had the wax and grease smoother in it and just stopped working. So I got these cheapy $2 ones. Seem to be holding up alright. So I can look at the reflection. Looks really good. Might need a bit more here, I reckon. Yep, knocked top off there, but it's pretty good. It's really difficult to tell. I don't want to get too aggressive with this. Yeah, I reckon a bit more there. Yeah, still got a bit of point on, I reckon. I'll take a bit more off it. Just have to dry this really good. If you don't dry it out really well, it clogs up the paper when you go to sand it. But yeah, I'm really hoping for better weather. Watching the, I'll keep an eye on the weather station and weather zone app on my phone and to see where the humidity's at, but if it gets to around 70%, it might be alright to, I'll just strictly put a coat on here. I won't worry about trying to upper and lower areas. I'll scuff it up, stay on the line, just a mist, just to see what it's doing, but it's really difficult to tell, but it looks like I'm on the right track anyway. Try using the glove. Bit pointy there still. I haven't done this yet. Jeez, it's hard to tell. Really do not want to stuff this up. I think I'll give it another hit right across, and I'll do right up to about here, I reckon. I went to Bunnings yesterday after night shift. I bought these sponge sanding pads, sponges they call them, sanding sponges. But yeah, got them, different grades. I got more tapes for doing body lines and stuff. It's masking up. This one's for the sharp lines, that's for the bonnet. Goes across the middle here, in there. Yeah. I've been watching the humidity on Weather Zone app on my phone, and I've been looking at the weather station in the house, and it was getting down to, it's dropping. It'll start off at 90% and it just nosedived. As soon as the sun came out and the wind picked up, it just nosedived. So I got down to 74%, which I think's probably borderline being okay, but I wouldn't go doing the whole car or anything on massive priming jobs. So yeah, I gave this side a hit. It's come out exactly how I want it to be. Perfect. My eyes anyway. So just look at the reflection. I've got the LED light up there and the fluoro, so it's never going to be as good as getting the car out in the sun, but I'm happy with that. I think it's great. It's got that natural curve now. It hasn't got that sharp edge on it. It's more of a round now, so that's how I wanted it. But what'll define this line a little bit better as well, I'm going to have the GS stripe. It's going across the side of the car, and I'm not going to get the nylon stick on one. I'm going to actually paint it onto the car. So there's nothing worse. So when I'm cleaning the Escort using a sponge, you've got to be so mindful of certain areas where I can easily pick up the corners. So yeah, now that's done, I can concentrate. There's good there, and at the back I was showing you before is good, but along here I need to take top of that off. So especially sharp there. But yeah, I'm on a win-win. It's it was playing on my mind a bit. You think about Bodylines and yeah, it's just one of those, I reckon it's one of the biggest challenges. So with the this car, it's got beautiful shapes and curves to it, but you really got to be careful what you're doing and really got to look over your work and take your time. But yeah, I'm on the tail end of this bodywork now. It'd be getting a paint job soon, I reckon, but it's coming into the worst time of the year. It's like it's raining all the time. It's starting to cool down, so it mightn't happen until spring. I don't know, see how we'll go, but I'm having dramas with the GoPro. The battery's going flat. Charging issues. So I've got this profile gauge. I've knocked the top off it a little bit. So this is the original rare spares section. So that was pretty good to start with. So you can see there, I marked a dot there with a permanent marker, just giving me indication where the body line is. So I'm moving along, and I'm doing right across here, and it's pretty damn close. It gets a bit sharp there because it's different there. It's like this panel, it gets more of a drop off in here, just the way the panel is. So gives me an indication where the shape is, but yeah, the shape changes a little bit here, but that's all right. So what I'll do now, I just spoke to Automotive and talking to him about humidity. He said, yeah, 80%, anything under 80%, but it's more about temperature. So when it gets to around 16 degrees, don't do it. 18 degrees plus is more ideal. So at the moment it's 21 and the humidity's below, very low 70s now. So yeah, I'll keep at it. I'll give this bottom section a hit. I'll just go scuff it up a bit more and we'll see how it looks. Just gave it a hit. A couple of coats. Stoked, absolutely stoked. It's not 100% perfect. It's a tiny bit wavy if you really want to be funny about it, but damn well better in the Escort. So this, just to go back in time, this bottom section is a rare spares item. The bottom of this door is a rare spares item. From there down, that section you buy, all this is original. I had to do a lot of work to that. If you go back to my previous videos, you'd see that, but oh, there's a bit of a run for me. No good. Oh, doesn't matter. Sand straight out. So yeah, this side's pretty much done. Body lines are sweet. It's just a matter of going down through the stages. 400 grit, I reckon, be the next grade I'll go for. But yeah, that's really good. I'm happy with that. So what I do with this spray gun, I got the DeFilbus GPI. I got the DeFilbus GTI Pro, which a lot of my brothers get this gun confused with. But this is basically it's like a universal type gun, made in the UK. So I've got 1.4, 1.6, 1.8 fluid tips. So I've been using 1.8, and I use a bit of the yeah, just reduce that, thins it down. It's basically just yeah, it's basically just acetone. That's all it is. Get it from Bunnings, but I bought this stuff from Automotive. But so this gun here, I use the when I want to get a really nice, less orange peel and smooth finish, you can thin it out 10% with acetone, and then I turn the pressure up to around 35. So yeah, you get a really nice finish, glossy, less orange peel. That way you can, yeah, get a better indication about body lines and panel shape and stuff. But yeah, I've made heaps of progress, but I'm gonna have to get on to doing my other stuff I need to get done today, shopping and running around and stuff. So I'll wrap it up for this video. But I just remembered, one of my mates come over here. He's got this beautiful Falcon XCG XL. It's 351, 2V heads. A lot similar to how my motor's going to be, except I'm going full Holtec ECU, drive-by wiring that. So my car's potentially going to have cruise control, which is awesome. But yeah, you come over here in his Falcon, a beautiful car, went for a drive down the road, and yeah, got up at the sound of that Clevo. I haven't been in one for years. Yeah, it just sounded absolutely amazing. Got me fully inspired. So he's got the 351, then he's got FMX auto transmission behind it, which was starting to slip a bit, but he's going to get rid of that transmission and put a, I think it's a C, Might have been, I think it's put a C6 behind. It's out of Bronco. Yes, and then it's got the Ford 9-inch diff. But yeah, beautiful car. So nice. And yeah, it's really good. So I'll put a clip in after this. But yeah, thanks for all the positive feedback from the last video and all the comments and likes. Yeah, I really do appreciate it because yeah, it's, as you know, when it comes to restoring cars, it takes a lot of a commitment, and sometimes you get up, you know what you have to do to the car, and you have to push yourself. So I just, yeah, get the tunes happening, get the coffees into me every morning, and just get stuck into it. And yeah, once you get started, you get yourself in a rhythm. So the last video, I was more or less getting back into it and making a start on it again. And it takes a bit of motivation to do it. So yeah, I'll wrap it up this video, guys, and I'll put another video up soon, hopefully. Thanks for watching. We've got Tom's XC GXL here, 351 Clevo, 2V heads. What cams have got?
Solid cam, yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, nice. Just went for a run in it. Yeah, it goes really well. So yeah, very nice example of 70s Falcon. Very cool. We just had a look at the sender unit for the fuel tank. The fuel gauge, it only just goes up to empty and doesn't go any further. So I tried shorting out the wire it goes to the sender, and then yeah, it started going to full. So the sender unit's gone, but it's just normal for cars of this age. So yeah, very nice inspiration for me coupe.